Hi everybody. Hope you're all doing well and that we just popped out of the Aries class and now we're jumping right into this one. So I just want to get it over here. All right. So this one is being recorded, but it will not be uploaded or anywhere or anything like that. I'm recording, as always, on another platform. So don't worry if you want to participate, but please keep your mics muted in case, you accidentally hit a button or something like that. All right. Hi, everybody. And I'm really happy and excited to talk to you about the Equinox and why it's so important. It's something that we do every year. And it's something that is different every year because it's a different cycle, it's a different energy, and we're moving into the energy of the 8 as it was forecasted in the 2024 forecast, the extensive forecast, but it really doesn't kick in until the equinox. So what I think is really important to understand is that I want you to remember that within you, within each and every single person, now just think about it for yourself, okay? Within each and every one of us, we have within us DNA, which is a specific sequence of coding that makes you you. And it can evolve and it can grow and it can change and it helps you to fulfill what it is that you actually came here to be. And so you have the 22 chromosomes where the 23rd determines your gender, but you have these 22 basic chromosomes. And I think it's so important that because we forget that we are superhumans, each and every one of you has a gift that you have to share with the world and also to awaken within yourself. You have powers and you have the ability to create miracles no matter what it is you're going through. It doesn't matter. You have that ability within you. It's born within you. But there are so many things that are keeping you from investing in yourself, investing in this reawakening and training yourself for the better. And you can say, well, I've been working on it for 5 days. How come it's not working? Or I've been working on it for 5 years. I've been working on it for 5 lifetimes. But as we learned, this is like many of lifetimes of resistance and limitations that we have to overcome and open our hearts to in order to activate this beautiful energy that's within each and every one of us. So before we go on, if you have, this is an introduction, okay, to an event, online retreat that I'm hosting. I put the link in the chat, but for the introduction, I think it's so important. If you have any questions, please do not be shy and ask them right away. Very important. You can use it in the chat or you can, just unmute yourself and ask the question. Because if someone, put it this way, has a question, there is so much value in it for the entire group. Everyone who is here now, everyone who will watch this later, in all 3 times, all 10 dimensions, there is a question. And it could be that a question comes through your mind that someone else has. So I encourage you to ask questions. And if you think that, oh, I know the answer already, or I already know that, or I've heard that before. Warning, people come to listen to me talk because, what they find on Google and on the internet is not enough. I'm not going to give you things that you can easily find in other places. I'm digging up the secrets and then I'm sharing them with you. So if you think you already know it, well, put it this way, I encourage you then to take the opportunity to share your knowledge, to deepen, or to perhaps deepen your understanding of the matter, or both. there's many different opportunities, many different ways that we can go about this. So what is the emphasis here with the equinox? Well, it's about duality. It's about duality. It's when light and dark are balanced. So what is this doing to our DNA? What is this doing to our reality? What is this kind of balance doing? Well, it's canceling things out. It's giving a reboot. So you have in duality light and dark. And then what do you have in between? You have rainbow. You have the rainbow in between. You have the refraction. So you have the light and the dark, and then everything in between is the rainbow. So when the light is entering into our world, into our darkness, it creates a rainbow of illusion. Now, illusion is not a bad thing. So, okay, because this is an introduction, let me explain this a little bit more, because let's start with what this illusion is. There's different names for it. You know, we can call it malchut, or you can call it samsara. There's different names for the world of illusion, but let's start with malchut, because out of malchut grows something called fate. And fate is your karma. It's the baggage. It's the consequences of your actions. It's the things that are there, the things that you create. It could be blessings or it could be blockages. It's fate, okay? So we first have to understand that malchut, the world of illusion, before we can move on. So malchut or samsara, malchut is the Hebrew word, samsara is the Sanskrit word. These are the two oldest languages. I talked about this in a previous class, but you know, now it's being proven that Hebrew is actually the oldest language. It's the most archetypal language, and it's even preceding so many languages. And if you think about it, it's really quite amazing, because it's an ancient language and it's also an official language of a country today. And so anyhow, I don't want to get into all that, but this is the Hebrew and Sanskrit expressions of illusion, of magic, also maybe even like sorcery or witchcraft, depending on how we're using it. But the terms, they really describe the world that we are living in, the world of duality, the material world, the world that seems so real to us, okay? It seems so real to us. And we know that everything is made up of stardust. We have figured this out, even with our limited science that we have now, which is actually quite expansive, but we have figured this out. But it seems so real to us. And this world is created by our egos. And the ego has a very important part in the cycle of the 8, which is being activated on March 20th. Okay, so let's take it into another translation. In Christianity, we have a very similar concept that probably many of us in Western world are very familiar with. It's about heaven and hell and purgatory. So heaven would be like nirvana or bina, okay, in the Hebrew. Hell would be the samsara, the malchut, and the purgatory would be that path to enlightenment, that process, these bardos that we're going through, that we clean, we purge the blockages, the limitations from our minds, and start to remember that we are superheroes, that we have these innate powers, that we can create miracles in our reality with this rainbow light. But basically, we want to purge our minds from the fate or from the karma, that concept of duality, and realize that we are all one. And that is that also that energy of the 8. It's that oneness. It's that lamnescape energy. It's that infinite energy that's there for each and every one of us. And in the presentation here, you can see you won't see it, but you have it here on the platform or in the replay. But you can see that this oneness, this realization of oneness, is called heaven. When we realize that we are one, we are in this beautiful state of heaven, because then there's no separation. Separation is what causes us so much pain and sadness and sorrow. So those who do not walk this path, they stay in hell. They stay in illusion until they do. Any questions? So, very good. Now, in that illusion, there are many, many, many different systems that can reinforce the illusion. And I'm sure many of us are familiar with these systems that are reinforcing the mind that's caught in this illusion. So fate or karma is essentially, like I just said, the mind that's caught in that malchut, in that samsara. So that world of illusion, the world where we believe something is separate or something is outside of us. And all of these systems are catering to essentially keeping that separation. It might look like it's bringing union, but it's actually not. It's actually fostering and creating more separation. And I bring this to the table because I want you to even subconsciously start to become aware of things that are not helping you on that path of oneness, but it's actually pulling you away from it. So the mind, so for example, the mind that is stuck in identities or personalities, it could be arrogance, it could be worries, it could be suffering, it could be pain or ignorance. It's a mind that creates kind of like you could call demons of hatred, blame, shame, and guilt, vanity, envy, greed, jealousy. It's the mind that takes itself very, very, very important. Very important. And it creates kind of like these webs of cause and effect. Cause and effect. And I don't know if you've ever, sorry, I'm not home right now, walking in a spider web, It's like if you are in a spider web, it's keeping us stuck to that malchut, to that samsara. And it's very interesting because we learn even in many of the teachings from Aurelia, it's like this is the mind that impresses us with how then we are figuring all of this out. And this is this energy that we have to be aware of because it's the equinox. Because we are in this energy of kind of understanding how are we getting stuck? How are we limiting ourselves from finding ourselves and activating really our true potential and our superhero-ness? So the fate or that karma, right, is not in it, like in and of itself, it's not good or bad. It's not falling into that duality. The expression of good and bad karma or is simply showing, like we just had St. Patrick's Day yesterday, so it's about luck. I highly recommend the movie Luck. It's an amazing movie about luck. I'm not going to give it away, but it's really showing how things are going. But we are still being controlled by the mind. and that we need more and more and more experience until we're able to liberate ourselves. So we do it through rebellion, we do it through knowing better. I need to have my experience so that I can eventually figure out, no, I need to actually liberate myself. So the equinox is really highlighting that opportunity and that process. It's reminding within us that, no, we actually need to do that. And it's helping us to remember everything that, you know, I just said. Like, it's that reminder of it's time to like get down to business, especially in these times. It's very important. Very, very important. So this, of course, brings into focus what we're going to be working with. The 12 days that follow the equinox correlate to the 12 signs of the zodiac that manifest somewhere in your life. Your sun sign, your moon sign, your ascendant, your angles, your houses, it's all manifesting somewhere in your life. And it's this rainbow light. And so it's this rainbow road energy that we want to step onto as we are going through, and we're tapping into that energy of the equinox. So it brings into focus the subject of, well, here's a duality: things that are revealed and things that are hidden, or things that are concealed. It's two different things. Again, it's another duality. But when we want to get out of the entrapment of duality, because we need duality to participate in this world, positive, negative charges and batteries, or in electricity, male, female, you know, we need duality to participate with our senses. The point is not to escape it. The point is to get out of the attachment of it so that we can truly experience it with all the pleasure that it can offer us, knowing that it's an illusion. But the point is like, we have, when we want to get out of being imprisoned by duality, we need to use it to see it. Very interesting what I'm saying. Very, very interesting. Okay, very, very, very important. Because when we are consumed, when we are obsessed with what's known as the revealed, the known, okay, something happens underneath the surface. And we see this as ego versus the essential self, body versus divine. These are all subjects and topics of the 8 cycle, which is the strength archetype, the angel and the lion. Okay, so basically we have this duality, we have this magic that's there, and it's totally a magical environment that we have. Now, most people are obsessed and consumed and in denial about it, even, of what's already known. And we see this, for example, with science or the news, or and it's important to educate ourselves and to know what's known. But when we are obsessed with that, when we're only working with what's known, something happens underneath, and I'm going to explain it in a second. But why do we get obsessed with the known? Why do we stick with the known? Because it's a safe place to be in. Okay? But one of the paradoxes of this life, and something that keeps us so, okay, how should I say that? One of the paradoxes of this life, and something that keeps making us grow, that keeps making us sign up for things and buy things. Some of it we don't even need. Most of it we don't even need. Is that the truth is in the hidden. It's in the secrets. It's within the concealed. As soon as real truth is revealed, it's no longer truth. And this is one of the paradoxes. This is one of the paradoxes of this world. Because we know that truth is hidden within paradox. There's a question, will this virtual retreat help us to self-identify what is holding us back? Absolutely, 100%. And there's two different levels to access with the retreat. The personal, like the basic, which will help you generally, also like getting in touch with where you stand with the different signs. And then the advanced access is where then we're going to look at what's going on, what's really holding you back, specifically with those beginning areas of Aries and everything that it represents. So yeah, absolutely. But you need to, back to the paradox, you need to think what's happening when you're obsessed with what's going on in the light. What is happening on the screen? Oh my God, what's the latest update? What's going on there? Did I get enough likes? Did this happen? Did this person win? Or did I get the email? Or did it send? Or what's going on? What's known? And maybe, you get some information and you feel good, but then why is there an emptiness that follows? Why do we want to know more? Why? Why is this happening? So the thing is that when we kind of deem ourselves as the know-all, say-all, like I know what's best, I know what's happening. I'm the master of the known world, whatever that known world is for you. And we all do it, okay? Something brews beneath the surface within the hidden, and not something good, okay? Therefore, we need to study. We need to learn the secrets of this world. We need to study what is not known. That is really important. We need to study what is not known. And I think, that's why when I work with people, it's not the known things that I'm bringing to the table. Maybe like the first time, like people, understand, like I see what's going on. But it's the unknown. It's the root. It's the source code of what's going on. And not a lot of people like, to go into that. Now, and that's why I tell people, okay, all right. Otherwise, just use the internet and all of the filters that it has on you, on your profile, all the algorithms. It will display all the information that it knows about you so that it is presenting something to you that you know about already. And that's how search results work, no matter what. And so what is brewing underneath when we are obsessed and only concerned with the known? Now remember, we need to also work in that level, but we have to have both. It's the duality. But when we're only obsessed with what's in the known, underneath, it's going to give rise to doubt. We're going to question ourselves. When we have doubt, then we're obsessed with the known, and it's a perfect cycle. And the equinox comes and breaks that cycle for a split second, and then it programs into the 12 days, and then it does a micro cycle to the macro cycle, because the rotation of the zodiac is going to happen, and how we program the quantum level is then going to echo out through the macro level. And if we have doubt, it's not going to work. And that's the thing, that's the thing with so many of these new age systems as well. It's like, it's, if you have, it'll work. The system will work only as far as it goes back. like as old as it is, okay? Because if it's lacking if there's a doubt, it's not going to work. All right. So with that said, basically what I want to say is that just before the equinox, that balance of day and light, when the duality is kind of getting a reboot, we are balanced, and the quality of our life, now imagine that the quality of our life is being determined on the spring equinox. On the fall equinox, it's the quantity of things, the quantity of life, the quantity of money, the quantity of days. But on the spring equinox, it's about the quality of life, the quality of time, the quality of money. All of these things are being balanced based on what we are bringing to the table and what it is that we're doing. So you guys, this is like we are balanced, and we are being balanced, and things are being determined. We are now, especially now, we are in Pisces season, just before Aries. We are kind of like in those deep water of Pisces, and then Aries is that first light energy. So we're really in the dark, concealed area of things where we can really dig a lot of things up, which we've been doing for the past month or so. We've really been doing that work. So the good news is, because I see the question, is like only a very, and I said this already in the other class, but only a very small percentage of the population needs to work on this level in order to shift the collective into positivity. So when you invest in yourself and you're doing the work and you invest in the time and the money and the energy and all these things, when you're doing the work, you're not only improving your life, but you're also making way and improving the collective as well. And this is something that's really amazing, because we need to look deep within the shadow, within the deep waters, and find those secrets and truth, and then bring them to light. And a very small percentage will be enough to open the channels and the ducts for the entire world. And thank God for that, because the way things are going, it just doesn't really look that way, because most people, they want to be entertained. They want to be entertained with, spiritual work. They don't really want to do the work. And I even, I face this even with the zodiac hacks. It's like sometimes people come and they want horoscopes and, we give them, but it's not your typical horoscope. So it can be very accurate. I mean, it's said that you can even calculate how many hairs on a person's head. And I mean, we can see very accurate things when looking at a chart. But the point is, as I have said, and I will continue to say, there are many systems and many guides out there who can bring about miracles. But most of them are working from like kind of an impure place with what's known. And I'm not shy to say this, because, people need to know that there is a difference between working with what's known and working with the secrets. And that's the point here. That is the point. So one of these secrets is the 12 days of the equinox, the 12 days of Aries. So a lot is being offered to us and asked over us over the upcoming days, each and every one of us, as we are entering into the year of the 8. And this cycle is, the 8 cycle is really calling for us to that introspective journey towards mastery of the art of discipline, self-discipline, and which is so important on this path. So the lessons of the 8, they're teaching us, each and every one of us, that mastery, true mastery, comes from the hidden. AKA, when I say hidden, I mean from within. It comes from within you. And now, isn't that an amazing concept? It's from a place of deep self-awareness and understanding. Then we can access the hidden. And so as we kind of learn to navigate these inner worlds within each and every one of us, we find our superpower, we find our skills, we find our cities. For example, stretching time. Like if you need more time to work on a project, or if you need more time with a loved one, you can stretch time. Healing, spontaneous healing, where it could be like, well, the doctor said this, and then days later, oh my God, it's gone. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this. Protection, force field protection, manifestation, relationships. These are just some examples. You guys have heard me talk about this for many years now. X-Men, the mutants, all these powers, manipulating light, walking on water, okay? All these different skills that come to us as we are also upgrading our nervous system through our chakras and our meridians. All this is very important. This is all very 8 energy. 8 is also Kundalini. And the Kundalini, as it goes up our body, it slithers up our body and around our chakras, it makes these lemniscates, okay? So as we are learning, and it's rotating each chakra, right? And then those chakras are feeding our hormones, our glandulars, healing our muscles, everything. So how do we begin with this in the 8, with the equinox in those 12 days? Well, we have to activate our skills. We have to activate our compassion. We have to draw upon our compassion. And then with that, we are able to unlock new levels of potential, of capability. And we become very, very successful in facing life's vicissitudes with a very calm, centered presence, confident in our ability to shape our reality. That is the energy here with the 8, okay? So timing is everything with that. We know time is an illusion, but it's also very real. So you could, for example, have the talent or the resources to become very successful, but you will be at the mercy of time. Because if the timing is not right, it's not going to happen. Or maybe you missed a window in time when you were supposed to do something, and then you have to wait. Okay? Well, actually, no. Most people do wait, but you don't have to wait. Now, it's true that timing makes all the difference in the world between success and failure. Being in the right place at the right time, being happy or being sad, but it is not the end all be all, because remember, time is an illusion. And we know that time is an illusion and that it operates in the space-time continuum. But when we are operating, one of the cities, remember, when we're getting out of the duality, the attachment of the duality, and we're operating outside of the bounds of time and space, we are then creating those miracles, or actually, more accurately said, they are channeling through us. And we do it on accident. How many times have you been like, something has happened, it's like, oh my God, I have no idea how that happened, because you were outside of time and space, like when it was a good thing, When it was a good thing, it was like about, you were just channeling it. But there is a way to consciously do it. So once again, those 12 days are very important time setting parameters that then will echo out through the whole year to make sure that the whole year is auspicious. Because how you are behaving, your consciousness during those 12 days is going to determine what's going to happen. You are the one that's in control of those, that quality of your time, your actions on the day of Aries, your action on the day of Taurus, your actions on the day of Gemini, and so on and so on. Each day is bringing its own challenge, but how you respond to it is going to determine what that's going to be like. And this is one of these secrets. All right. So The universe is assisting us by scheduling these cosmic time frames. We have it on the full moon, the new moon, the ingression into new signs, certain transits. It's helping us to kind of remind us of our responsibility to get out of our comfort zone of settling for less, where we have limited ourselves. You know, it's almost like we give up on ourselves because we think, I can't do that, or it's too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's like we are so convinced, and we're supported in that belief system that we cannot access this superpower that we have. You actually do have that superpower within you. You do. But there are so many systems that want to keep us from remembering that, and that want to keep us from investing in ourselves. And rather, we invest in all kinds of things that do not have our best interests at heart. So we are really asked in these days that are coming up to take what we can, as much as we can, by behaving the best that we can. Having awareness is very paramount. I will be providing the consciousness for each day so that you can shift your timeline and do something also about, you know, the times that we're living in, and to contribute to the collective, contribute to the greater good. So the 12 days that follow that equinox are that time of year that is giving us those blessings and also those challenges, which we know in the end are always blessings when we're overcoming them, and is providing us with the boost of light so we can get on that rainbow road timeline. Every day we'll be building like a different color of energy so that we create this rainbow road timeline, which you saw in the image here in the beginning. And this is why your greatest asset, your greatest tool that you have is your consciousness and your ability to build that light. And it's so important that you are using your consciousness, your attitude, in a way that's going to steer the outcome, like steer into a positive outcome, rather than just letting like things chaotically happen. So, you know, I love this so much because the question was, can we become aware of our blockages? Yes, because there's tools that you'll be granted access to, consciousness, so that you can uproot the damage that has been planted over the past years. And I just talked about this in the Aries class, all the blockages that we bring with us, because you have the God gene within you. I forget what it's called at the moment, but you have that God gene within you, that divine spark within you. And you can allow it to take care of any situation in your life. And that's where the true magic and the true purpose of illusion is coming through. It's what it's there for. So you have the guidance within you to set that consciousness and hack that zodiac and pre-program your reality how you want to do it. It's going to help you create the circumstances within the duality that we're in to evolve. Remember, once again, I talk about the Homo spiritus. So as Homo sapiens, we are evolving into Homo spiritus. I mean, you guys see it. Okay, we have nanobots. We have electromagnetic energy like we never had before. Our nervous system needs and is evolving. And the good thing about this is that we will be able to handle higher spiritual frequencies. Now, the Kundalini energy that we have within each and every one of us, the average nervous system cannot handle it, which is why most Kundalini energy is not really activated. Oh my God, what's the word? Until death, hopefully, or at birth. Also, as we're coming through our mothers, you know, because it's all that Kundalini energy, like that's that birthing process. Don't want to get into all that right now. I'm talking specifically about the nervous system. We know there is so much stuff going on. There's so much invisible things well, it's invisible to most, but I happen to know someone, my best friend, is aware and sees all of that stuff all the time. And our nervous system is like, it needs to be strengthened. And that's going to heal your DNA. That is going to heal your chromosomes, and it's going to level you up. And once again, another way of saying that is creating that amazing future, because your talents, your skills, they are embedded within your DNA, and they are as unique as you are. The 22 archetypes, the 22 chromosomes. Like, for example, you have your life path, for example, you have your star sign, all of these things. They need time to grow. They need time to express themselves as you are achieving spiritual realization. And you do this once again by exploring, getting out of the obsession with the revealed and going into the concealed, the hidden. And there, working on the dark and bringing light into it, or bringing it into the light, brings out these revelations, these spiritual realizations. And it's really, it's so touching, because a spiritual realization can open you up to gifts. I don't know if any of you have actually experienced it, or maybe you've seen it in someone else, perhaps in, you know, one of my classes or in another class or somewhere, or maybe just in a private moment. But it can open you up. Like, when you have a realization, it can completely open you up and give you new gifts. And then this is how people have visions, and then they go and they fulfill them. Okay? This is how they have visions and they fulfill them. Now, the fulfillment is a whole nother part. You can go Steve Jobs, or you can go Elizabeth Holmes. You know, that's up to you. Because the thing is that we have to sustain the yeah, I know that was intense, huh? We have to sustain the realization. What happens is that we forget it. We forget it. Why? We go back into obsession with the revealed, and the doubt is brewing underneath, and it makes us forget things. Aurelia told me once about a student, actually, who, in her presence, they were doing a program, and the student actually got, like, I think, got into liberation, or maybe even like a slice of enlightenment, something like this. Very high state of consciousness. And it was for a split second, and then it was gone, and it was sustained, but then not. And this, you know, blessings to the student. Thank you for reminding us of all that, because we have to stay open to it and to know that we want the manifestation powers. We want the wealth. We want the wisdom. We want to be able to protect ourselves also from the electromagnetic fields and the bots and everything like that. We want to heal. We want to communicate, hyper communication. We want to be connected. We want to be loving. We want to have fulfilled life. Masters throughout the ages have showed us how this is done. That path, that purgatory that I was talking about. Awakening the superpowers within you. And the paradox is that we need first to be fulfilled within us. And we do that by investing in ourselves and realizing that we have to awaken to our powers, having the courage to do it. And we tend to block ourselves for our own reasons, and we will learn about that. But it's really, really important now, you guys, more than ever, because this cosmic schedule is that time that we can go into that process. The time is right. The time is right. So you don't have to change your life out of reactivity, even though, I mean, I'm the first to tell you, and you guys have, many of you have heard my story. I have, you know, I had like all kinds of medical crisis or just emotional crisis, all kinds of things that have gotten me onto certain paths that I needed to be on. But we can also do it proactively. We don't need to react to chaos in order to get our game on. So the benefit is that we can work on lifetimes of fate in just a fraction of time, thereby maximizing the investment that we need to make. And that's what those 12 days, this is that secret. That's what we have available to us. And this is not a shortcut. It's that natural rhythm that I'm so happy you guys are here listening to this live or recorded, because with something within you knows, no, like I know that there's no time to waste. I know that I also am responsible for bringing that light into my life and also into the world by doing that work. We heal ourselves, we heal the world. So in other words, what could take lifetimes can take years, can take months, can be in an instant. And these are these different pockets of time when we can make these quantum leaps. And I'm going to talk specifically like more about the 8 and everything, like, you know, on the platform. But I wanted to share how important this is and where you should keep your general consciousness, and having that proper context of what's available to us, because we are in that age of Aquarius that began in the 1500s. And all the technological advancements and everything that has been going on. But once again, our nervous system is adjusting. And with our spiritual work, we can evolve. And you guys know I'm a big fan of the X-Men. And get this, how crazy is that? The new X-Men is launching on March 20th. And I've been talking about this like on equinoxes for many years. And this is amazing because finally, you know, we're understanding that evolution is about tapping in to all of our gifts, which are really our responsibilities. So that upcoming window, so important. You can hack the entire zodiac, create the framework for goodwill for the whole world, if nothing else. You owe it to yourself to do that, okay? It can be very difficult to navigate reality without the proper context of what's going on. You know, in that duality, being stuck in that duality. And the end result is that we suppress our ability to, you know, we know that story. You know, we know that story. We know it. We don't want to invest in ourselves, and we don't want to, you know, one drama leads to another and nothing really gets resolved. So I wish for each and every one of us to be successful and to grow and to escalate and to ascend and to have strong will and to have strong focus to activate or to get in touch with, or maybe even just to become aware of that power within each and every one of you. And then we can contribute to the collective, and to have that discernment and that ability to know that, no, this is nonsense, and this is my destiny. This is my fate, and this is my destiny. And this is, like, you guys have heard me say that before, that we cannot know what the future is, but we can choose which future we're going into. And then once we commit, then we can really go down into that or up into it. And so I love it very much, very, very much, because all of this mental energy that is distracting us and that is holding us back and making us believe that we cannot achieve more on the equinox is going to be balanced out to our degree that we have prepared and that we are ready and committed to really being balancing, going into the shadow, seeing what it is, and using that powerful time. So with that said, I'm preparing videos for each day of the 12 days. And the best is to do it in the morning. And you can watch them, and your shadow, like, even if you don't understand it, your subconscious mind will understand, you know, what are the blockages. It's not about things that are necessarily bad. When I say blockages, it's just hidden. And in that hidden is that truth, is your superpower. It's going to activate these things, because each and every day, the heavens and the stars, they are filtering that energy like in a concentrated way, very concentrated way. So because it's going to be different for each and every one of us, because we all have different DNA, I am also offering 2 different ways to sign up. One is the general admission, where you work with the archetypes like how it was in the past. And then the advanced option is it gets very personalized. I'm going to be doing workshops. We're going to do a group healing where I'm sending out stardust energy, like, to the whole group. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be also based on what everyone brings to the table. So if you want to heal a bone or a relationship or whatever it is, it's going to be like a group energy, because The energy in the cosmos on those 12 days is so potent that I want to use it to kind of like supercharge my X-Men. Awaken the DNA. So that's what we're doing there. And also keep in mind that those 12 days you will be tested. There will be tests. There will be these different tests because you have to prove to the universe, to the cosmos, that you can do it. And you won't be able to fake it. That's the beautiful thing about true spiritual work. You cannot fake it. It's not something that you can just like, oh, yeah, I just like, yeah, dab over here, dab over there. I did it. I signed up. I got the shirt. Yeah, I did it. No. Like, you got to really, like, the subconscious mind is going to want you to do it. So I love it very much. And let's keep making the changes good ones. We're doing really good work with that. We want to move forward. We want things to get better. And the direction is always up to each and every one of us. And we don't have all the time in the world, but when we work at the right time, it's the most effective. So you guys, very, very good. There's a huge boost of light for your individual reality and for the whole world ahead. And we're using all of those 12 days, the 22 archetypes, the constellations, all of that, so that we can contribute to a better reality with all the tools that we're going to acquire. So you guys,